We've got a question from one of you about it as well on Cricbuzz Chatter. So let's see the question. Right here you are. Who's it today? Pravesh. In the first test, Australia tweaked the 11 to include a right-hander. In the second, they tweaked it to go in with an all-spin attack. And in both, they lost under 3 days. Is it a case of failed tactics, or are they just not good enough in these conditions? My question to you actually is, you've played against the Aussies. I've watched them and admired them. One thing you always see with Aussie, there's no backward step. They'll come hard at you. They might lose, but they're there in the fight. I didn't see that fight.
Interesting. Now you asked me 3 questions. I'm stuck. I'm thinking which one to answer. But let's go with
Let's go first.
So even though the question is very interesting, but if you look at the first part, the right-hander replacing a left-hander. Now that, they've got it right, because Peter Handscomb has actually been their best batter so far in this tour. He looks solid. Yes, he got out with a very soft ball today. It's very soft dismissal. Let's cut him slack for that, but he's been their best batter on tour. Let's come to the second part of the question. Playing 3 spinners on this deck. Again, I think tactically they've got it right. Yeah. They can't do much if the batters don't put up a score good enough for them to defend. In that, they got 4 wickets, and God knows if that got 200, what sort of pressure India could have been. There was a lot of there are a lot of questions that the Australian bowlers were asking. Were they better than the Indian bowlers? Definitely not. But did they get the combination right? I still believe they got the combination right. Their fault was not playing head in the first match. Now that, I feel, was the decision that they will look back and be like, should I have done that? So I don't think that was a fair decision. But today, again, when he batted, not today, but yes, last night when he batted, he showed the world how he is capable of. And you get the feeling that from here on in the series, he is going to open, because he showed and played some shots which will give confidence to the Australian dressing room. And which was your third question, Harsha?
I'll come back. No. You said 3 and you answered 1 so far. But we'll get there. As I said, I've watched Australia over the years. And if you go all the way back to Alan Border turning that side around in '86, they came to India with the backup players had decimated the side, rebel tours had decimated the side. And they came on the back of just saying, even if you are not good enough, tough, grit, players like Boone, Steve Waugh, all these players came out of that period, Jeff Marsh, all those people. Then they, of course, had that glorious era. But whenever you play Australia, you at least see them standing up to you and fighting. I got the feeling both in the first test, in their reaction to the track, and in this test, in the shots that they played, I thought they just lost it too early. I mean, the sweep shot, we will talk. Okay, let's talk about the sweep shot. I know we're going round and round a little bit. Let's talk about the sweep shot. Is that the only shot you can play on this track? Because you look down here, Usman Khwaja out to the reverse sweep, Steve Smith out to the sweep, Matt Renshaw out to the sweep, Carey out to the sweep, Cummins to a shot, Koneman out. There's 6 wickets going down to the sweep shot. You like the sweep shot. Tell us about it.
Now, when Australia obviously have taken the flight to come to India, they do a detailed analysis. Yes. And I'm sure they would have done their SWOT analysis for Delhi as well. And anybody in Delhi will tell you, black soil, Delhi, ball bounces less. Sweep is probably and arguably one of the toughest shots to play. And if they've done their homework, that's the shot that they would refrain from. Even India didn't use it much.
I think there was 1 sweep shot India played in this innings. 1 or 2 sweep shots in the second innings.
Yeah, 1 Rohit paddle swept.
Yeah.
1 KS Bharat slog swept for a 6. Now, these 2 shots are very different in nature, and it's a backup shot. What I mean by that, they've hit a boundary to a different place and then backed it up with this shot where the bowler is thinking something else. But if you're standing there as a batter and the bowler knows this is the only shot that you can go to, he has the upper hand. He in many ways knows fuller, straighter, 1 ball he's got to miss. And from the conversation Jadeja has had from Akshar, it's not rocket science. Tez dalo, Sida dalo, there's a great chance he'll get a wicket, and that's exactly what he's done. Bowl fast, bowl straight, and he's going to miss one because in between the defense, it's very obvious they're going to play the sweep. And on this wicket, it is a hard shot. It's keeping low. And every time they tried it, it became even tougher because they didn't back their defense. They didn't use their feet. They didn't play against the spin for a single. And all of that led to the fact that it made sweep a much tougher shot than what it can be if it is used effectively. And that's what brought the downfall. And you also got the feeling a couple of the batters already sitting in the dressing room had decided that going in, I want to show intent. Now, let's not confuse intent with recklessness. Intent is when you're giving a feeling to the bowler which says, I'm going to score runs against you. Absolutely. Reckless is, I'm only going to play the sweep shot because that's the only way I feel I can get runs. Now, that is 2 different things altogether.